Hello, good morning. What's up, everybody? It is your girl, your diva knowledge, Lady Mocha, here at Mocha's Cafe de Paris Lounge. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Hope you had a safe weekend. If God woke you up this morning to see another day, regardless of what obstacles or what new circumstances, whether if they're troublesome circumstances, whatever you have to face this particular week here, just thank the Lord that He woke you up just to see another day and that you get a second chance to try to correct whatever mistakes or mishaps you have had. But on that note, I want to thank everybody for definitely supporting my channel, those who've been rocking with me from day one, and those of you who are just jumping on board, and those of you who are viewing my channel for the very first time. I want to welcome you to Mocha's Cafe de Paris Lounge. This is a very non-biased channel. I don't do any feminism and I don't do any male chauvinistic either. Basically here at my channel, I'm gonna get on both sides. I'm gonna get on men and I'm gonna get on the women because that's how I operate here. Um, there's far too many of us that are just way too one-sided. We have too many channels where they just want to ride the black men, and then we have channels where they just want to ride the black women. But no, here we do both. Okay, so this is the most non-biased channel that you're ever going to meet. Okay, so I just thought I would let all of you know that. But on that note, we're gonna go ahead right into this new recipe. Well, actually, this is a recipe I've already done before. I've already done this topic before about Michael B. Jordan, but apparently Mr. Jordan just cannot stay out of the media. And every time they catch this brother swirling, sisters just ain't having it. They going in on him like right away. Okay, so for all of you who do not know, Michael B. Jordan is back on a lot of sisters' piss list. Apparently, he just got caught a couple of days ago. Photo of him went viral of him being on some yacht with a bunch of white females and was a couple of white guys too. So of course, somebody spotted it, took the picture of it, and it went viral. I'll go ahead and read a little ad referring to this situation here so everybody could already have a good idea what I'm talking about. It states here, and I'm getting this information from BET.com. It appears as Michael B. Jordan has been clowned for years for only entertaining white women in his personal romantic life. However, he put the unconfirmed chatter to rest in a Breakfast Club interview, claiming he is attracted to all women. While his words sparked a sigh of relief from his black female admirers, his latest vacation photos told otherwise. But he has an explanation for that. The photos that have since gone viral show the Black Panther star at what many are dubbing a white girls only boat party in Italy. The images sparked a slew of criticism from his fans, with several concluding that the rumors are true, that he has a clear preference. I'm looking at the picture now, and uh, yeah, I only see one white guy in the photo. I'm gonna see if I could put it in this clip. I don't know. Um, yeah, I see him and another black guy and only one white guy, and the white guy look like he's the one that's actually driving the boat. And yep, he's surrounded by a bunch of Beckys, but nevertheless. Um, Taken to social media himself, the actor responded to the backlash with a clear response that has some going, newsflash, okay? There's not a lot of black women in Italy, okay? Now, this is what he said. He said, "You are bugging. Y'all are doing too much. I like milk. I like chocolate milk. I like almond milk, strawberry milk, the cinnamon toast crunch milk. That's pretty good." That's basically what he said it. That's a lot of milk though. Okay, so basically, as y'all can pretty much see, he's catching some heat, and the majority of the heat he's catching is from the sisters. A lot of sisters are still feeling like this brother has a certain preference, that basically he's down with the swirl. He has to have um cream, nothing but cream in his coffee, not even coffee. He just likes straight cream, okay, that he likes basically um white bread, you know what I'm saying? He don't do no wheat, he don't do no raisin bran. He's just one of those brothers that a lot of black women are just starting to feel like he's a straight sellout. He is only interested in white women. Now, the purpose of me doing this content, I've already done the content on this before, but I'm going in a little bit more in depth this particular time because I want these sisters out here to look at this in a more deeper way. I don't want, sisters having a tunnel vision. I don't want them looking just on top of the surface. I want black women to look beneath the surface. It's time for us to do some surgery so we could really get our panties, out the bunch of our behinds and realize that it's way more to it than what meets the eye. First of all, as I stated before and I'll state it again, what a lot of these women have to realize when it comes to these men in stardom, when it comes to these celebrity males, you have, I'm just giving a couple of examples, like you have Ghost. For those of you who watch Power, Power is definitely one of the biggest series on Stars right now. Um, that has a lot of fan base. Ghost, his real name is Amari Chadwick Hardwick, no, Amari Hardwick, I think. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Um, he's become a very large sex symbol. There's a lot of black women that find him very attractive, and he is a very attractive man. However, he is married to a white woman. And I've seen a couple of pictures of her, and I'm gonna say that's polite as I can. You just wouldn't expect a man of his status to be with a woman um based on her just based on his looks. This is just my opinion. His wife just does not appear like the type of woman you would picture him being with, you know. It's not only him, it's a lot of, black men in the industry that are married to white women or specifically only deal with white women. You have Terrence Howard from the Empire. He's on wife number 3, wife number 4. And from my understanding, none of them have never been black. They've always been black. I mean, they've always been white or Latino or Hispanic or whatever the case is. But I've never seen him with any black women. All of his children are from white women. From what I know of, okay. I've never known him to date outside of his race. Um, Singer Tank, he just married a Caucasian woman. Seal the singer, he was married to Heidi Klum for many years. The list goes on and on and on. It's many of brothers in the industry that are dating outside of their race or married outside of their race. And I totally get it. It's bad enough that the reason why a lot of black women have the attitudes and have so much resentment that they have towards a lot of brothers dating outside of the race, because for one, unfortunately, black women are already kind of limited in choices. A lot of black women are limited in choices. The majority of men within, our reach are not always the best to select from. You have any type of brothers that we deal with, they are either thugs, or either they're gay, or either they're in prison, or either they are married, or either they are single. And even though they're single, and some of these brothers have all the potentials of being a husband or being a mate, a lot of these bachelors, these guys that are single and got their stuff together, they ain't really looking for no relationship like that. You know what I mean? They ain't really checking for nobody like that. They are enjoying their bachelorism, the fact that they could come and go and not have any stipulations. So it kind of puts black women in a bad bind to where they pretty much have to pick whatever options are out here, which really isn't many, isn't really many good choices. I would say good guys are like parking spaces. All the good ones are taken. And the only ones that are left are the handicapped ones. That's the best theory I could come up with. So, of course, being that this is already an issue for black women already have a hard time um finding a potential soulmate because of the some of the scenarios that I have just presented. When you do see a brother that is successful and he's very nice looking, he's very good looking, he's very intelligent, and you see that he's more interested in a specific race of women, it kind of makes you feel defeated. And that's what's going on with a lot of these sisters out here. That's why a lot of these sisters are in their feelings and feeling some type of way, because the truth of the matter is there's not many choices. Um, and but that's just one aspect. But what I want the sisters to understand is we can't just blame it all on the lack of choices as to why we are in our feelings. Now, there was another brother too that just comes to my mind, Childish Gambino. Dan, it's something, his name is Glover, Mr. Glover. I don't want to call him Danny Glover. I'm getting him mixed up with dude from Color Purple. But anyway, but he's known as Childish Gambino. He did the song Red Bone and This Is My America. When this is America. I'm tongue tied, y'all. I didn't have my coffee. All I had was my orange juice. So forgive me if I'm all over the place. But yes, a lot of sisters kind of, they kind of lost it when they found out, he is actually married to a white woman and has two kids from a white woman now. It started a lot of sisters for the fact that this brother acted so pro-black, and that's the thing. I think that's what has a lot of these black women confused, because they look at these celebrities like Michael Jordan, because he plays a black role and he plays in black movies and black TV shows. You may catch him on black music videos. Guess what? He could be participating in all of the black events and all of that, and take all these roles and play all these roles and in these black films and black movies. His personal life is totally the opposite of what his profession is. That's why it's called acting. I mean, it's not too many. A lot of these celebrities, these stars, these rappers, these athletes, these their personal life has nothing to do with their professional life. You know, it's kind of like you can you could play a serial killer in a movie. You could play this villain in a movie. That goes around killing people, hurting people. You're known, that's your role in a movie, to be a killer or a stalker. But when those cameras start rolling and you go back to your personal life and people see you in the street, people still see you as that stalker or that murderer that you're known for in all of your movies and your films. Truth in case, Richard T. Jones, he's a phenomenal actor. He played in the movie Why Did I Get Married? He played as a real verbally abusive husband that had the heavyweight, that had the wife that was struggling with weight issues. And y'all remember the movie when he was messing with a friend and making fun of her when she tried to wear lingerie in bed and stuff like that. And to this day, if I see this guy in the street, I'm automatically going to remember him for that particular role he played. I'm gonna remember him for the dog that he was, and believe it or not, he's been a dog in a couple of movies. So he's always been it's the word for it? Typecasted, you know. Um, so when I see him, I'm automatically thinking this dude is a dog, but not understanding, not still realizing that the man is an actor. He's an actor. It has nothing to do with the way he is a person, has nothing to do with what he is on film. Comedian Bill Bellamy, he's always talked about how he's attracted to black women. I mean, he's played in a lot of movies with black women. I love one of his movies, How to Be a Player. That's still a classic to this day. I still enjoy that movie. And with all the black women he was, messing with in the film, in the actual movie, outside of that, this man is married to a white woman. He has kids with a white woman. So that's the main point I wanted the ladies to first understand, is that, look, you got to separate these brothers' professional life from their personal. That is what they get paid to do. They get paid to pretend to be into black women, or get paid to play this black villain in this black movie. That's their job. That's how he makes his money. That's how he makes a living. It's no different than you working at Walmart and you a hostess. You got to be friendly all day. Every customer that enters Walmart, and you're a hostess. You have to say, "Hi, welcome to Walmart. Thank you for coming into Walmart." You have to say that to every freaking customer that comes in, knowing behind closed doors, you're not that friendly. You might don't even like people. You might can't even stand speaking to people. You know, that's just your job. Your job is to be friendly and make the customers feel comfortable. And that's on every job. On every job, a lot of us are actors. Because we have to be, you got to pretend to be nice all day long because you're representing the company. Um, you're representing a brand. So you got that professional. You got to be nice, even if the customer being extra and getting on your nerves and just being, difficult. You still got to put on this face. You got to put on your professional hat. Yeah, that's the better lack of a better word. You have to put on wear your professional cap. You got to wear your friendly cap. Even though you rather be at home, chilling, sleeping, whatever. That's your job. That's how you get paid. Same thing with these athletes, these actors, and these rappers. That all black women, we have learned to make our sex symbol. We see these men on film. We see these men on perform. We go to their rap shows. We go to their concerts, and you know uh we after not not understanding that no matter how much we support these brothers, that don't mean they really checking for us like that. I've even seen, all honesty, I can give y'all another example. I don't know if anybody has ever been to a strip club, whether if you're a man or you're a woman. You cannot be that attractive. You could be old, you could be black, you could be white. A stripper's job is to make you feel desirable. If you're a man and you may not be that attractive and you may not even be good looking, you may even be too old, you may even be too young, but guess what? That stripper is going to make you feel like her eyes are only, or like you're the only man in the whole room that she notices. Her job is to make you feel important, to make you feel special, to make you feel relevant. And that, and part of her doing that is dancing very seductively for you, doing some booty clapping in front of you, whatever it takes to make you feel like you are the man. That's how she gets her tips. Okay, she can't worry about if you 80 years old and looking at her booty clap. She can't worry about if you a broke college student. As long as you putting them tips on that table, that's all she's concerned about. She can't worry about if you black, if you white. That's her profession. That's how she gets paid. Same thing with these male strippers. I've seen a lot of them. A lot of these guys who are strippers who will lift up women 3, 4, 500 pounds in the audience. They'll go get the hugest woman and lift her up to make her feel relevant. And I know this is a reverse psychology thing. Is to make all women feel like they're beautiful. If you have this attitude where I'm only going to entertain certain women of certain races and certain ages, then you kind of limiting yourself. You limiting your brand, and then most of all, you limiting your money. So you can't. Of course, his job, if he's a professional male stripper, is to make every woman in that room. I don't care if she's ugly. I don't care if she's old. I don't care if she's somebody's grandmother or whatever. If he's a professional stripper and he wants to make his money, he got to make all of the women in that room feel important. He can't just only want to get tips from certain women. Oh, I don't want you tipping me. You too old or you too white. I'd rather only get these black females over here to tip me. No, I mean, basically what I'm saying is, part of his brand, that goes for a rapper, that goes for an athlete, that goes for an actor. You have some actors in the street, you may even run into them, they're nice enough to take a picture with you. You know why? Because that's his brand. He signs an autograph. That's his brand. If he wants to keep his fan base, he wants to keep expanding his career as a rapper, as an athlete, or whatever. He has to show his fans love. But guess what? That don't mean he a bit more interested in you than a man in the moon. You have all them, like I said, the analogy about the stripper. Whether you man or woman, the stripper gonna make you think they interested in you because it's all about trying to get your money. And as soon as they pay you and they said it's over, guess what? They walking off that stage, they going in the backstage, they counting their money. They ain't thinking about you no more after that, you know. And that's what a lot of these women have to understand. We cannot get hell bent on these brothers because we see them the reality, the fantasy of what they portray to us. We can't get caught up in that. We can't get caught up in the fact that he's because he's done all these pro black films, or he's always rapping about black women with big butts, and you turn around and you see him with this white plain Jane with a butt flatter than a dog on cardboard. You feeling some type of way like, huh? Wait a minute, hold up. What? Again, that's just his brand. It's too many sisters up here getting hell bent because they looking at a brother's brand. And when I say brand, brother, if he's an actor, he's a brand. Michael B. Jordan is a brand. His name alone is a brand. He is just an actor, a black actor. Amari Hardwick, singer Tank, rappers, Lil Wayne. I guess I'll use him because he's been with women of all sorts of colors. Um, but basically, that's their brand. You can't get hell bent off their brand. And, as I stated before, I don't know why all of these women are going in on, Michael B. Jordan only being interested or having a preference with just white women, because the truth of the matter is, if you really think about it, ladies, if you go back to a point in time when you were dating, think about all the guys you dated. Think about all the black guys you dated. How 9 times out of 10, if you dated that guy, you found some type of attraction in him. In him. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're not going to date somebody that you're not attracted to. In order for a man to even get a date out of you, you first got to be attracted to him. A guy approaches you, asks you for your name, asks you your name, your number, could he take you out for some coffee, could he take you out for some dinner? First thing you're going to look at is his physical attributes. Okay. I know before I married and I was dating, I had to find you attractive. Period, point blank. Um, but this was the crazy part, and this is what I want the women to understand, is that, when you look back at your dating and you realize that even though some of the guys back then were attractive or you found them good looking, when y'all actually got down to getting to know each other and y'all been kicking it for a while, whatever, and y'all vibing, y'all talking, so you think, you realize that no matter how good looking this dude is, there's no chemistry. There's no connection. I mean, think about it, ladies. Go all the way back to that point in time. Think about every good looking brother you ever dated, you ever talked to, and reflect back on, you realize evidently, if you're not talking to him anymore, something went wrong. Evidently, you found out he was lying, he already had a woman, or you found out, okay, dude is good looking, but he boring. His conversation is as dry as the Sahara Desert, or let's say y'all had a sexual thing going. You find out he's not that good in bed like you thought. He's very handsome, but his bedroom, his head game or his bedroom skills do not match with how good he looks. He's a lame-o. It was something about him to where y'all just didn't connect, no matter how good looking he was. I'll use an example for myself. I remember one time I was 18, 19, and I always had a thing with dating older guys. I could never deal with guys my age because I was way too intelligent for them, and I didn't have any patience dealing with guys my age. I always would talk to guys a couple of years older than me. My husband got me about 4 years or whatever. But anyway, I remember I was dating this particular guy, and at the time he was like 27, 28, so he had me 18. He had me about 8 years, you know what I mean? So anyway, I was very attracted to him. He had a nice car, he was tall, he had all the heights, he had all the physical attributes I like. He was tall, he was handsome, he was in the military, he had a total package. And he, of course, he spotted me in the club, and we exchanged phone numbers, and we kicked it for a while, and over time, I just started seeing things with this guy to where his good looks wasn't even intriguing to me after a while. He was just lame to me. He was lame to me. There was no chemistry, there was no connection. I mean, he was good looking as far as being pleasing to the eye. He was somebody I wouldn't be embarrassed to be in public with, but there was no connection. And we just ended up going our separate ways because I found out, sooner or later the guy was just using me. He was in the military and he already had a fiance in a whole other state. So you know how that goes or whatever. So basically, I saw all that to say this because I know y'all wondering, okay, Mocha, what does that have to do with anything with Michael B. Jordan? This is my thing. Half of these brothers y'all are gawking over. Half of these brothers y'all are in y'all feelings about, and you feeling some type of way because he wants to only be on that side of the fence. You're not understanding that if you was to meet some of these guys in person, if you were to date, like if you was to even date Michael Jordan or any of these black actors or rappers or athletes, you will be surprised how much you will not connect with this person. That's the thing about it that a lot of these women are not understanding. Y'all are so hell bent and then y'all feelings, about these men dating outside their races. If you were to actually, if you had the opportunity to date these men, or to like have a conversation with them, you will be surprised how much y'all really don't have in common. It got nothing to do with race. It got nothing to do with I'm a black man, he's a black man, I'm a black woman, we supposed to be together automatically. No, because think about it. You've dated men in your race and y'all did not connect. You cannot be hell bent and figure because he's Michael B. Jordan is this nice, good-looking black man. And he's a handsome guy. He's a successful guy. He has a lot of accolades. He got a lot of things going for him. He got a good bit of notches under his belt. I remember when he started out real young on The Wire, and ever since then he has just been blowing up. He's been in a lot of movies and everything. But I guarantee you, half of you sisters that's gawking and in y'all feelings about Michael B. Jordan, I guarantee if you was to sit down and have dinner with him or have coffee with him or go somewhere with him and just kind of hang out, you won't even be that interested in him like you think. You're just looking at the actor and you're looking at the fact he's a black man. You sit down with him, he's probably a cornball. You'll probably see why. Okay, I see why this dude only dates white girls. I can't get into him. He's handsome, he's successful, but he seems like a cornball. That don't mean the chemistry is there. Just because he's a black man. Rather if you like Amari from that plays Ghost on Power. He's very gorgeous. He's a very handsome looking guy. He's been in a lot of movies, from Sparkle to now he's this big time star, leading star on Power. I mean, the man has been in a lot of movies and he has a lot of credentials. But you'd be surprised, as good looking and handsome as he is, you would be surprised if you was to sit down and have a conversation with him, how much y'all really don't have in common. I'm telling you, ladies, I can't be more brutally honest. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Every guy that was ever my type, I always found out I was never theirs. Every man I thought that I was his type. I mean, he was my type. I wasn't his type. And that's how it always seems to happen. And the man that was not my type ended up being the right guy for me. I was particular. Um, I wanted to deal with I wanted to deal with a guy who didn't have children, where we could build a family together. Um, I wanted him to be a certain height requirement. I wanted him to look a certain way. I wanted him to have A+ credit. I wanted him to be graduating from Harvard. I had all these things in my mind based on what I thought would be the perfect man for me. And reality showed me that over time, that everything I had in mind, that was just a fantasy of what I perceived. But the reality was, a lot of men who was on that type of status of what I considered to be my ideal mate, they wasn't checking for sisters like me. You know what I mean? Because, you know, for whatever reason, as much as I found them attractive, and I wanted a man to have certain statuses, I was looking for a man to bring something to me that I couldn't even bring to him. I wanted a man with A plus credit, and I ain't had no A plus credit. I want a man who with all these college and statuses, even though I'm on my second master's now, but at that time I didn't have none of that stuff. I was expecting a lot from these brothers that I didn't even have. I was looking for him to pick me up from the bottom, and bring me to where he was. I wasn't looking to build with him and we start from the bottom together and build together. I didn't know anything about that. But over time, as you get older, you realize that your fantasies don't always line up with your reality. And just so happens that I did end up meeting a guy, who at first I was not attracted to him. It wasn't that he did not look good. He was a nice looking guy. He was a handsome guy. He was a nice guy. He was polite. He pulled out doors and open and pull out chairs and open doors for me and all of that. And I just was not attracted to him because I found out, he had kids from a previous marriage. And I was one of those women, I did not want to do it with kids. Just like you got men out there who want to run away from women who got kids, or don't date single moms, or don't mess with single moms. I had a guy, we had some women like that. Well, we don't want to date no man with no bunch of damn kids. You got women that's the same way. I did not want to date a man with kids. That was a deal breaker for me. I found out you had kids. I didn't care how good looking he was. I'm like, oh no, But so happened that is the very man I ended up falling in love with. Was a man who had two kids from a previous marriage. Even though, in my mind I felt like he had baggage. I had baggage too. I didn't have any children, but I had a lot of emotional baggage. That he had to deal with, because I had been burnt. I had a couple of heartbreaks from previous relationships. So I came to him with baggage as well. I came with a lot of emotional baggage, and he was very patient with me. He didn't throw in the towel with me, when I was going through my moments of being overly emotional. Any other man would have just wrote me off like, nah, this broad is too much. She too emotional. She too insecure. Because I came into his life with a lot of insecurities, because I've had a lot of previous relationships that failed. So, needless to say, that's who I ended up marrying, and I've been with him for 18 years. Um, Basically, it just goes to show, what you think is your type, what you think will work for you, doesn't always work for you, and what you don't think will work for you, the main thing you try to avoid not having to deal with is the thing that ends up really working for you. And that's what ended up happening. So I've come to realization, and that's what I want all my sisters out there to understand, that honey, your type ain't gonna come to you the way you think. Your type is not going to come 6'5", making 100,000 a year, no children, never been married, A plus credit, never has an attitude problem. What has a lot of women ruined right now is because they're still looking for that fantasy of what they think is the right man for them. And I will save all of y'all sisters time, because if somebody would have told me this long time ago, I would have saved myself all the countless time and years I've wasted on all the wrong people. Just because what you could don't whatever you have in your mind as your type, that don't mean it's going to work for you. Your type of man may not be the 6'7" college grad from Harvard. Your ideal man, he may be a bus driver. Your ideal man may work in a sanitation department. Your ideal man may have children from previous relationships, and you can't let stuff like that run you, because sometimes people who have baggage, they learn from that baggage. That's what matures them. You have some men who don't have no baggage, who don't have no children, but the problem is because they don't have that experience of dealing with family, and you try to build one with them, sometimes it can be complicated. So, and I'm not telling women, go out there and mess with men who got children. You may get lucky and meet a man who doesn't have any children, and y'all could build a family foundation together and start from and build a family from scratch together. What I'm basically saying is, don't let your perception of what is your ideal mate uh hold you back or limit you from having the right person in your life. And the same thing with you guys out there. You may have your own perception of what is your ideal wife. You might want her have this voluptuous body. You don't want her to have no stretch marks. You don't want her to have no children. You want her to be making a certain amount of money and all this and that and everything. And that's cool. You can have a preference, but your preference don't always work for you. You may end up being more compatible with a basic sister, who may not don't have the ping pow and all this and that, but she's a good woman, and she's somebody that can help you build, is somebody you can actually have a future with, somebody who you can trust with your money, trust with your heart. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of times we can't let preferences block us from our blessings, because I'm telling y'all, my type would never work for me. It never has. Men that I wanted to be with, honey, they didn't want to be with me like that. And the man that I was not looking to be with, that's what ended up working for me. I've been with him for 18 years, and we've had some bumps and stuff on the road, and we went through the baby mama drama I've gone through, experienced all of that. But all the kids are grown now, so we don't have the same problems we used to have in the initial beginning. So you can't allow people's current situation. Don't judge people off their current situation, because sometimes you come into somebody's life at a bad season. Just because you meet a woman that's down on her luck and none of her kids' fathers are there, whatever, that don't make her a bad woman. It just may mean that she's in a rough situation right now, and you just so happen came along and during her worst. And this is not to say that you should or shouldn't date a woman with kids or not. She could be a woman who don't have children. But if you meet her and she's got all this financial debt, got all this other stuff going on in her life, that doesn't mean based on because she's in a situation, that does not define her as a woman. She's just so happened going through some things right now, just like you. Same thing with you women. You meet a man, and because he don't have a job, you already knocking a brother like he's a bum, and he ain't got nothing, not realizing this man may have been working for the same company for 15, 20 years and got laid off, and you just so happen met him at a bad season. So sometimes things don't always line up perfectly. People don't always meet you when your stuff is straight. People don't always meet you when you up. Sometimes people will meet you when you was down. I was at my lowest when my husband met me, and so was he. I had just gone through a divorce, so we both was in a sunken place at the time when we met each other, but we didn't allow our present situation to deter us from connecting and building something together. And that's another thing. That's how you know what kind of man or woman you got. If they're willing to support you or be with you at your worst, and help you to somehow overcome it. That's how you know what type of man or woman you dealing with. I'm not saying that if a person is down, you need to be Mr. Clean Up Man and Clean Up Woman. Just have discretion. Know when to step in and know when to step out. Or if you're more comfortable with waiting until that person get themselves together, then y'all get back up later, then so be it. But just don't write folks off because of their current situation. But I know I'm all over the place, but I just kind of wanted all of y'all to um understand that when it comes to these stars, when it comes to these rappers, these athletes, these actors, ladies, I don't care how black they are. I don't care if they so black that they leave a fingerprint on the charcoal. That does not mean they are the ideal mate for you. Do not get in your feelings. You see these brothers with a white woman, a Puerto Rican woman, a Latino woman. In the back of your mind, you feel like he doesn't have any value. He doesn't value his race. Preference has nothing to do with race. We all have preferences. The problem is we want to highlight race, but we all have preferences. We have preferences with money. You women out here, y'all don't want a broke man. You don't want a man who can't financially contribute. That is your preference. So you can't knock these brothers if they want to date outside of their race. That's their preference. You have your preference, they have theirs. All this trying to revoke a brother's black card because he don't want to date women within his race. Like I told y'all don't know if Michael B. Jordan is the kind of dude you could even see yourself being with. You sit down and talk to him and find out, his conversations are kind of lame. He wants to talk about golf. He wants to talk about stuff that's not even interesting to you as a black woman. You'll find out like, wow, you know what? He's a nice looking guy and everything, but I can't see myself doing this. Childish Gambino said the same thing before he got with his white woman, his white wife. He said a lot of sisters, always thought he was kind of corny, thought he was like a lame old kind of nerdy, and kind of looking at some of his stand-up comedies, I could kind of see that. I could kind of see back in the day, he was probably one of those brothers that black women would not give the time of day. Like, really, you can just tell by the way he talks, he had that nerdy type of vibe from him from back in the day. So when you see what you want ain't always checking for you, then you got to choose different alternatives. Who's to say? You don't know if Michael B. Jordan probably dated all kind of black women and they felt like he was too corny, they felt like he was too lame. You could be a handsome black man and be lame at the same time, you know that, right? Same thing with you brothers. You could meet a woman that's beautiful and gorgeous, have a nice body, is sh- sh- true arm candy at its best, somebody that will definitely turn heads, but when it come to conversation, she is dumb as a doorknob. Everybody looking at you and giving you props. Oh man, that's a bad one there, man. Where you found her from, man? Man, oh man, that's wow, man. Shh. If I had a woman like that, and behind closed doors, it's the total opposite. The woman is dumb as a doorknob. She can't cook, she can't clean. She dry in the bedroom. She lays there like a like a doggone like a lazy whale. I mean, come on. What you see, always what you get. That's basically what the whole moral of the story. Basically, I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up with this. I just want my sisters out here, to realize that it's no need for us to be in our feelings if a brother decides to date outside of his race, because you really don't know if you and that brother will be compatible. Look at all the black men you have been with. If you really was a compatible with them and things didn't work out, I'm sure right now to this day you don't care who the hell they with. You don't care if they was somebody white, you don't care if it was somebody purple. You'd be like, good luck, good riddance, because I wasn't connecting with him. I wasn't feeling him like that. So to each his own. You wouldn't even get mad. I ran into any of my exes now. I would not get mad if they was with a white or black woman, because I just knew it wasn't gonna work between us anyhow. And that's the same way you got to look at it, ladies, when it comes to these men dating outside their races. That does not mean just because you see Michael B. Jordan or all of these other successful athletes and stuff. I don't care. Don't you how much you feel like they look good, they got all this money and they're so successful, why they want to go over there and deal with women of other races, because maybe it's stuff she can deal with that you wouldn't be able to deal with. You wouldn't be able to deal with his lameness, his corniness, or whatever. So we have to keep that in mind. Just because you see it working for somebody else, that don't mean it's going to work for you. I guarantee half of y'all women who up here gushing over this man, if y'all sat down and had a conversation with him, y'all would not be interested in him. I promise you. You'd be like, oh wow, this the what everybody was checking for, man. Please. Same thing with you brothers out there. You see a woman, some of these women, in the industry, like Holly Berry and Jennifer Lopez and all these beautiful, gorgeous, successful women, Janet Jackson, and behind closed doors, they're a handful. Don't care how pretty and gorgeous they are. Even if you see Serena Williams, okay, she got a white husband, but she's probably a handful for for you brothers. Y'all probably wouldn't even be able to deal with her like he could. You know what I mean? It got nothing to do with black women could take more, white women could take more. It got nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with what's called compatibility. It's plain and simple as that, y'all. Let's let go of this race thing. This race car thing is getting old. It's getting tiresome. I mean, this thing is just getting way out of hand, man. Let the man live. Let him date who he want to date. You know, it's gonna always be something. I'm telling you. I know plenty of celebrities in the Hollywood world. They both are black, man and women, and people still giving them all kind of heat. Why they together? Why he with her? I mean, Birdman with Tony Braxton. Everybody looking at now, both of them black. Okay, everybody in their feelings with Birdman being with Tony Braxton. Now, had he been with somebody white, a white woman, they probably would have made a scene out of that. I mean, you know, what you have in your mind is considered as love. It's not what everybody else is considered as love. Okay, so you know, again, everybody just need to stay in their lane and let everybody live. Let them live their life. You live your life. You do you, enjoy your life. You know, don't be around here stressing and worrying about who is somebody else. You know what I mean? Half of these people, you wouldn't even get a chance to be with them if you wanted to. I mean, it is what it is. But I thought it was just very imperative that I shared this, and I'm not going to run this Michael Jordan thing in the ground no more because this is my second time talking about this, and I don't want to keep putting his brother on blast. You know, power to him. Hopefully, he finds a good woman, or for whatever color she decides, or whatever he decides to choose. Long as he's good to him and he's good for her, that's all that matters. So it is what it is. But again, I want to thank everybody for stopping by the view me here at Mocha's Cafe Day Perry's Lounge. I'm still going to be working on my book. I done fell off of that. I got to get back on board with my book because, as I promised all of y'all, I was going to have it ready before the end of this summer is out. So I'm just praying for God to give me the ability to be consistent. Consistency, Lord. I'm praying and working on consistency because that's something I am definitely failing in. I cannot be consistent. I'm trying to better myself in that area. So it's been wonderful. It's been awesome. Leave a comment. Let me know, how do y'all feel about the situation? Do you think uh if people understood that just because somebody is black, that don't mean y'all are compatible or that y'all match made in heaven? What do you sisters have to say about other black women who are gushing over these brothers that are dating outside of their race? What is their intake? Or even if you feel like a man should be with a woman of his own race, I mean, you welcome to. I mean, don't let my perspective change how you feel. I would like to get your opinion as well on why you think it should be that way. Okay, so everybody leave a comment. Let's just be respectful about it, and we could share our own opinions and values without going in on each other. You know what I mean? We're all grown folks here. It's an adult conversation. It's nothing for nobody to get in an uproar about. We just sharing our own opinions, and I just want to hear your perspective. But anyway, it has been wonderful. It's your girl, Lady Mocha, and I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth and break you off a slice of knowledge. Talk to y'all later. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please share the video. When you share the video, that helps me. That helps me a big deal, okay? So don't forget to thumb me up now before y'all exit this video, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.